Hey guys, this is part 2 of Acts chapter 10. And it says, The men replied, We have come from Cornelius the centurion. He is a righteous and God-fearing man who is respected by all the Jewish people. A holy angel told him to ask you to come to his house so that you could hear what you have to say. Then Peter invited the men into his house to be his guests. The next day, Peter started out with them, and some of the believers from Joppa went along. The following day, he arrived in Caesarea. Cornelius was expecting them and had called together his relatives and close friends. As Peter entered the house, Cornelius met him and fell at his feet in reverence, but Peter made him get up. Stand up, he said. I'm only a man himself. So basically, while even though Peter is a disciple, he didn't want anyone to worship him because he wasn't God. He was just God's servant. And that's the same thing that we should do. While talking with him, Peter went inside and found a large gathering of people. He said to them, You are well aware that it is against our law for a Jew to associate with or visit a Gentile. But God has shown me that I should not call anyone impure or unclean. So when I was sent for, I came without raising an objection. May I ask why you sent for me? So we should always follow God's plan. Even if we have doubts about it, God's plan is always best. And then it says, Cornelius answered, 3 days ago I was in my house praying at this hour, at 3 p.m. Suddenly a man in shining clothes stood before me and said, Cornelius, God has heard your prayer and remembered your gifts to the poor. Send to Joppa for Simon, who is called Peter. He is a guest in the home of Simon the tanner, who lives by the sea. So I sent for you immediately, and it was good for you to come. Now we are all here in the presence of God to listen to everything that the Lord has commanded you to tell us. And then it says, Then Peter began to speak. I now realize how true it is that God does not show favoritism, but accepts for every nation the one who fears him and does what is right. So God does not have any favorites at all. He loves us all equally because we were all made in his image. You know the message God sent to the people of Israel, announcing the good news of peace through Jesus Christ, who is Lord of all. We know what has happened throughout the province of Judea, beginning in Galilee after the baptism that John preached, how God appointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and power, and how he went around doing good and healing. All we were under the power of the devil because of God was with him. We have the Holy Spirit because of Jesus. Okay, guys, go to part 3.